If I knew how your brain works better than you do I know you better than you know yourself? What I mean by that is, um, there is an ultimate power that we have that some of you do know, some of you don't know. Um, and this power allows you to do anything you want, and you can change your life. You can make millions if you wanted to. You can help others, like I'm trying to do, or you can just live a perfectly great life better than whatever you think you're living right now. And that power is it's something you all know and familiar with. It's called faith. Um, it's not hard. Everybody know faith, but I don't think people know what it actually means to have faith, or how to actually utilize this thing to have everything you could ever possibly want. Um, faith isn't just religion, even though it's the basis of Christianity. It's built on faith. Like um, if you're a Christian, I grew up as a Christian, but if you're not, this is not about religion. Faith isn't just about religion. Faith isn't mostly religion. Faith is just it's just how it explained the power to believe. However, I will be using some example in the Bible, excuse me, for all my Christianity, so they understand what it actually means. Um, a quick look before we started. I have a Bible with me in the book of Hebrews, right? Hebrews 11 verse 1. This is what the Bible defines what faith is. Um, Faith is the assured expectation of what is hoped for, the evident demonstration of realities that are not seen. One more time. Faith is assured expectation of what is hoped for, the evident demonstration of realities that are not seen. And it goes on to say by verse 2, for by means of it the men of ancient time had witness bore to them. By faith we perceive that the system of things were put in order by words of God, so that what is seen has come into existence from things that are not seen. If you're an atheist and you don't believe in God, you don't even gotta pay attention to the God part. But what it's saying basically is that faith is to believe in almost an expectational way of things that are not yet seen. Um, so a belief so strong in something that isn't seen or isn't known, and it happens. Now, to deviate from the Bible and to come into science, so people want scientific evidence of what faith actually does for us. Well, it does everything, because everything we have, from this light, cars we drive, the phone, the way y'all can listen to me through the telephone or the videos, even though y'all are around the world, all these things were created with faith. Before these things, humanity had a course to say that it was impossible. It was impossible for a vehicle to move without a horse pulling it through. They said it was impossible, and yet it happened. The light bulb, 1,000 try, it was impossible, yet it happened. Um, Everything we have. Well, why is that? Um, because of the brain, because of the brain that we have. And what that means is there's two forces in this universe that we are certain of, and that is energy and matter. That's the basis of science, it's basic of everything. Nothing in this world exists outside of those boundaries that isn't either energy or matter, or maybe both. You know what I'm saying? But everything we know is energy and matter. And what I'm getting into is that our brain isn't just this useless thing that, people don't really think about much. Um, it's actually it's an energy. It's actually one of the most powerful energy sources in the universe, period. Like your brain right now, it's not about intelligence. It's not about those were just smarter people that invented that thing. It's that they understood their minds, right? Like once you understand your mind, nothing is impossible. We've heard that so many times that nothing is actually impossible because it's true. Nothing is impossible. It's just how well can you control your mind to make these things happen? How do you make these things happen? Faith, believing in something that is not yet seen, in realities that is not even unknown, that are unknown. That is faith. And the Bible goes on to say, by faith, Sarah couldn't have a child. She got a child. By faith, Noah built an ark. By faith, God favored Cain over Abel because of their sacrifices and rewarded them. By faith, Joshua held up the sun. He held, whether you want to believe that or not, if you're a Christian, you obviously believe that. If you're not a Christian, you don't have to pay attention to that. It goes on to, and Christ even himself even said, if your faith was so strong, you could tell a mountain to move and it will listen. Why? Well, because of our brain. Our brain is made up of the same particles that are made up, that makes up the entire universe. The entire universe, whatever particle that, so our brain is connected to the universe. And y'all have felt it, I have felt it personally, because there were times where you think of something and like it happens. And mostly it's on a negative way. Like, you think about what's the worst that could happen, and then boom, the next week the worst that could happen actually happens. Why? Because you told your brain that. People will find this hard to believe, but we are a product of our own circumstances. A man is what he thinks all the time. That's not a biblical thing. That is a scientific thing. So if you don't believe in God, that's a scientific fact that you can look at. A man is what he believes, what he thinks all the time. Why is that? Because when you think of something and you believe in it, faith, strong belief in something that isn't even possible becomes possible. So your circumstances, if you're struggling in your life or something bad is happening, and I was a victim of this because I have struggled my whole life, and I used to blame God and blame the universe that there's a greater force out there that works against me. But I had to like rethink myself that those were just things I was thinking of all the time. I was always thinking of what the worst that could happen, and the worst always happened. When you think of what the worst could happen, it always happens. It never fails. Why? Because you don't realize it, but you had so much faith that that thing was going to happen, and your brain makes it so. And you can change that. This man that created the light bulb, cars, whatnot, everything that we thought was impossible in the past, they created that thing on faith, imagination, and strong belief in things that are yet to be seen. Things that are impossible or were impossible are now possible. There is no limitation of what faith can do for you, except the limitation that you placed on yourself. The athletes you look up to, the artists, the rappers, the musicians you could think of. Kanye, he says, I've always been taught that I can do anything. So he was programmed from a very young age to believe that there was no limit to what his mind can do. And so he created Graduation, one of the best albums of all time, and he's one of the most successful of all time. All athletes, what they tell you, confident and belief in myself. Belief is faith. It's strong. Belief is faith, but it's called faith because it has to be a belief so strong that you never doubt it. You know, that's what makes it faith. It's a belief that is so strong you don't doubt it. Like in your mind, that thing exists. That thing is possible. The telephone, when it was invented, it was impossible. I always thought about it. Like, how could someone be 1 billion miles away or 1 million miles away on the other side of the planet, but can hear me, see my expression, like all this? How could someone that has had even the thought to think of creating such a thing? Like, how is that even possible? But someone did think about it. They did think of, what if I could communicate from right here to someone that is far, far away, create a device for that. They laughed at him. And guess what happened? It was possible. Growing up, I used to think heaven was in the cloud. But yet we've created planes. We can fly. We can go thousands and thousands of miles. We have left Earth. Well, not all of us, but rocket ships and people have left Earth. And I used to think to myself, as a Christian, like, did God intend for us to leave Earth? Like, the Bible never mentions us to move to Mars or any of that. So, like, are we walking outside the boundaries of what's supposed to be possible? But I think it's spiritual. That's what faith is. It's spiritual based on things that are not seen. And we ourselves and our brain are energy. We are energy and matter. And science tells us that, well, it doesn't even tell us anymore. It's a known fact that energy and matter can't be destroyed. They can only be transformed. So I'm already yapping too much. I would love to speak more, not just on what faith is or how, but mostly how the brain works, how you can utilize that to create better circumstances, not only for yourself, but to make us all better as a people, as humans, like to elevate the world, to change the world, basically is what I'm trying to say. But I have so many things I want to say. I have like on faith, on what it means if you're scared of death, and like it's so many that I would like to share. But I want to see how this goes and how y'all react to it. If y'all like it, I'll leave a like, subscribe. This is my first video. It's a brand new channel, and I'm trying to see where I can go. And I want to help people to that once go through depression, because I've gone through it. So leave a like, subscribe. Let me know how y'all feel. Let me know if you think you want to hear more of this, or it's just pure nonsense and bullshit and you don't fuck with it. And that's okay too, bro. And I appreciate y'all. Much love. Y'all my tribe leader out.